Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. I'm your host, Chris Meaney. Thanks, as always, for taking the time to hang out. Breaking down Game 7 this evening between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders. The winner headed to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Montreal Canadiens. It seems weird to even say still. It's crazy. We gave 34-1, Cam Stewart, myself, and Matty Best on this show for the Habs to win the Stanley Cup. We all laughed about it. We joked. It's not going to happen. One of the most improved teams in the offseason. A chance to maybe get into the playoffs in the North Division. And, man, we only took it because it was just great value, great odds. And here they are, the last team to make the playoffs, the first team to punch their ticket into the third round and into the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's been an unbelievable ride, very unexpected. 11-0 in these playoffs when they score 2 goals. A lot to do with Carey Price. He's won 22 straight games when his team scores 3 goals for him in the playoffs, and 28 of his last 29 games when his team scores 3 goals in the playoffs. Something to keep in mind here as we move forward to the Stanley Cup Finals. But before we do, of course, we have to talk about the Islanders and the Lightning. And if you are just new to the show, well, you've missed quite a bit, but we're thankful for you checking in here today. If you can smash that like button, you have a comment, a question, a concern, anything, leave it there in the YouTube section. As always, I'll circle back before puck drop. Please subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. Lots of great content here on MMN. And, of course, lots of great Prize Picks content. And if you're just new to Prize Picks, check them out at prizepicks.com. Use the promo code, the link inside the description of this video. You'll get 100% first deposit match of up to $100. And, again, it doesn't have to be $100. You can deposit $20, $25, $50, whatever you want to do. It was a great Wednesday. We hit the Prize Picks. We got lucky with the Kucherov under 2.5. He only played 1 shift. He left with a rib injury. We'll get to that in a little bit. It was just brutal. It actually frustrates me that there was no call and fine worthy. It's just pathetic play. The reffing has just been so brutal here in the playoffs, and that's right up at the top of the list of just things that I just have to shake my head about. So we got lucky with the Kucherov under 2.5, but Jordan Eberle we hit. That was over 2. Prize Picks has him at 2.5 today. I'm looking at the shot props again. I feel like a low-scoring game here between these two teams. I said it on Wednesday. I thought that the Game 5 matchup, the 8-0, was the outlier. Now, no. I'm thinking Kucherov doesn't play here today. He's been really dominant, of course, in the playoffs, more so at home than on the road. But I'm just going to go to the shot props. I think there's an opportunity here to maybe win some cash from Prize Picks attacking the shot props. So Jordan Eberle at 2.5, and then Steven Stamkos at 2.5. So he showed up lately here. The last game he had a team high, actually a game high across the board in Game 6 shot attempts, 6 scoring chances, 3 high danger chances. He led everyone in expected goals, .63. He's got 9 shots in his last 2 games. Of course, he had the monster Game 5 on home ice where he had a couple goals, 3 points, and he had, I think, 5 shots in halfway through the game, 4 certainly in the first period. He played 16 minutes and 36 seconds in Game 6, was a series high for him as well. The most he's played since Game 3 against the Carolina Hurricanes. So my feeling is no Kucherov. Even if Kucherov does play here, the captain's going to be leaned on a little bit. It is Game 7, right? You start double shifting guys. If it's a tight game here in the third period, the fourth line sits a little bit on both squads, maybe more so than Tampa than New York. They seem to roll them. The identity line will get their opportunity here tonight. But Steven Stamkos over 2.5, and then Jordan Eberle over 2.5 as well. Also, I would consider if there's one guy to consider the over for the fantasy score, it would be Stamkos at 3.4. If he gets a goal, you get it, right? You get the 3 for the goal, half a point for the shot. So 3.5 you would get if Stamkos found the back of the net. So consider the over there. There's others that I just stay clear of. I'm not interested. Point at 4.4. Does he score again? Like, it's possible. The guy's got, 9 goals in 9 straight games. He's just been lighting the world on fire for a large time now, right? It's been for a long time. I mean, I'm out of it here today, obviously. For a long time, since the start of the bubble last year, guy's well over a point per game. But staying clear of that, Stamkos over 2.5, and then Jordan Eberle over 2.5. So I mentioned we got the over on over 2. The last time out, he had 5 shots. He's cleared 2.5 in 2 straight games and 7 of his past 11 contests. He had 5 shots on 5 attempts and 4 scoring chances. He was second on the Islanders in the shot attempts and the scoring chances. He was first. He was just behind his centerman, Barzal, who had 6 shot attempts. But as I mentioned, I think we'll see another low-scoring game here. So the over on the shot attempts for Eberle and Stamkos. Check out prizepicks.com. And if I see anything else that I like, I will jump back here on this video and leave a comment there, because some will pop up maybe. I've noticed some books are a little cautious with some of their props here today, waiting on Nikita Kucherov. So if a guy like Yanni Gourde jumps up on PrizePicks, or Anthony Cirelli, if those guys are like 1.5s or 2s, I'm going to jump on them, because as I'll talk about here on the show, is that I think it's a boost for those two players if there's no Kucherov. We already saw it in Game 6, and Kucherov only played, I think, 44 seconds. He was done right away and didn't come back. So we have a bit of a sample of what Tampa could potentially do tonight, what their lines could look like. So let's get into today. Again, using the free prop shop parlay calculator over at ftmbets.com to get the best possible odds. I'm seeing the Islanders plus 150, Tampa Bay minus 169, a total at 5, the under 5 plus 105, the over 5 minus 125. And as I mentioned, I believe this on Wednesday, I said I wanted to get the adjusted total. Today, I want to do the same thing. There's been a lot of 3-2s. Like yesterday, I had the adjusted total with the Habs game. Habs in the under 5.5. Nailed the 3-2 game. I feel like this is a 3-2 kind of feel as well. Like maybe 2-1. Like this is Game 7. It's going to be tight. Both goalies are strong. I'm willing to adjust the under 5.5 at minus 165. I got a feel for the Lightning here tonight. It's Game 7 on home ice, defending Stanley Cup champs. You know, I have a lot of respect for what the Islanders are doing. I said this on Wednesday. I didn't count them out of Game 6, home ice. You know, it does feel like they're kind of on the same path as the Canadiens. It's just, you know, they play a very similar brand of hockey. They are hard to play against. They're in on the forecheck. The counter that they have, like from defense to offense, it's quick. They can hit you in the mouth pretty quick. And they have defensemen, their big forward are just like Montreal. They kind of block out, box out, and they're hard to play against. They don't give up a whole lot. Now, Tampa does have that success from Game 5, something to build off on home ice, and it just they really took it to them. Of course, Kucherov is a big player here. I mean, he didn't take the warm-up skate. Everyone did but him. I'm going to think that he doesn't play. And that was a vicious cross-check from Scott Mayfield. Vicious. I can't believe there wasn't a penalty. Was it Chris Lee? Was Chris Lee the ref? I mean, that guy, he doesn't deserve a job in the NHL. He can't be reffing anymore in the playoffs. He's been brutal now, not just in this playoff run, but for years. Chris Lee. It's all I ever hear about is Chris Lee. I don't even know if it was Chris Lee. I'm just like talking now. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was him, but the ref is sitting there staring right at it. He didn't even have the puck, and it was a cross-check to the ribs, and he's done. He's potentially done. I mean, if he's got fractured ribs, broken ribs, he's done now for the playoffs. The guy was the Conn Smythe favorite before 2 days ago. It's priced now, but Point has also passed him. Of course, what Point is doing is crazy, but I don't think he plays, and that's a significant loss, of course, for Tampa Bay. But I still think that they can get it done. You know, with no Kucherov, it makes you feel a little bit better about the under. If you want to go with the under, 5 plus 105, it's fine. But for me, I'm willing to pay a little bit more juice at under 5.5 minus 165. I'm going to lean with the Bolts, like I said. I think that they win this game, a tight one. Maybe it's a 3-2 game or a 2-1 game. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes to overtime yet again. I believe we said that on this show on Wednesday, overtime. And when it gets this tight, like even that Canadiens and Golden Knights series, like it's just – when it starts to be a 2 out of 3, you start seeing attention to detail, pucks out, like all those cliches, pucks off the glass, pucks in deep, changes, not getting caught too long in your own zone. Just, the turnovers is where the goals happen, right? That's particularly where they happen in these tight games. It's just you can pinpoint one little mistake, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net, and the series is over. So Tampa and the under. But like I've been saying here all year long, there's been an opportunity there's been a lot of value on some of these shot props. So I'm sitting here looking at Eberle and Stamkos, of course. There's plus money on Eberle at 2.5. Stamkos, the 9 shots in the last 2 games. I'm feeling him after not feeling him on Monday. I came in here on Monday and said under Stamkos. No way. This guy's been under for multiple games, and I got burned. And he's now clicking, looking like the Stammer that we all thought we would see. So over 2.5 for him, over 2.5 for Jordan Eberle. Yanni Gourde, we've been riding at 1.5 over on Yanni Gourde. Let me bring up the game log here on Yanni Gourde just to give you like make you feel a little bit better. Like Yanni Gourde, what the heck am I going to do with that guy? But 2 shots, 5 shots, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2. So this guy's hit in quick math 8 of his last 9 games, and he's going to get a boost in ice time. If there's no Kucherov, he just is. We'll get into the lines a little bit. He played 19 minutes. He played 19 minutes in the last game. That's by far the most he's played here in the playoffs. I mean, 15, 16, 17, 15, 15, 17, 16, 3 straight before 19 minutes in the final game. Of course, that went to overtime, but I believe it ended pretty quickly. So I'd like that shot prop on him. I'm going to stay away from John Gabriel Pajot. He burned me last game. Just there's no need of it. So we can go Braden Point. Actually, I'll rank them here. Stamkos 2.5, Eberle 2.5, Yanni Gourde 1.5. And I do like Point at 2.5. You can get him plus money in some spots. He's basically around even money. The run he's on has been, like we said, it's been crazy. It's unthinkable. I was looking at points, like to get an assist, he's plus 140. To get a point, he's minus 180. That's a little high. But Stamkos to get a point is minus 145. And Stamkos to get an assist is plus 150. I don't mind those props, like a couple long shots there. Victor Hedman to get an assist is minus 125. But to get a point is minus 160. I'd rather spend the money, the extra little bit of cash to get the point. Like if he gets a goal and we bet an assist, just like the points. Of course, the odds are not as great, but it's all about cashing at the end of the day. So I don't think I have anything else from a prop standpoint, but I just wanted to recap of what the Islanders did in Game 6 when Nikita Kucherov went out. So Kucherov here played 46 seconds of ice time, and then that was it for him. And it wasn't the play where he tried to hit Barzal or whoever he tried to hit in the corner there. It was that cross-check from Scott Mayfield. I didn't get into it anymore. It actually bothers me quite a bit. Okay, so this is how the line shaped out for – I'm just making up words and sentences as I go here. This is how it worked out for the Islanders last game. They put Yanni Gourde up with Stamkos and Killorn. They put Stammer back in the middle. They had Gourde there on the right wing and Killorn there on the left side. So they played 7 minutes together at 5-on-5. The Corsi 4 is pretty decent for them. I mean, 47% is okay. It was better for line 1 with Point, Palat, and Cirelli. So they took Cirelli off the Stamkos line, put him on the wing up front, and then Stammer in the middle. So let's just talk Killorn line here for a second. Killorn, Stamkos, and Gourde, the 7 minutes, they had 8 shot attempts, 9 against. They had 4 shots, 4 against. They did allow a goal at 5-on-5. They had a team-high 6 scoring chances and a team-high 3 high-danger chances. So they fared out pretty well. But Gourde had played with his usual line mates for a bit. It was Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman there for 625. So this wasn't something that Cooper went to right away, but it is something that I think he'll do. I believe as good as Yanni Gourde has been with Coleman and Goodrow, Gourde has been really good. He's been solid now. Last year in the bubble, he was awesome. I feel like I'm talking about this guy quite a bit. His shot props are always low. He's cheap on DK. He's going to get an opportunity here. Even if he starts that game on the third line, they can juggle. Maybe they're down a goal. Maybe it's, like I said, it's tight in the third, and then they just ride some of their better players. So I think Gourde finds himself in a top 6 role here if Kucherov can't go. And then Cirelli is like the big guy too. Like his shot props at 1.5. I would maybe consider that one, but I like him today in DK regardless. But that line, Platt, Point, and Cirelli, pretty good. Corsi 4, 60%, 9 shot attempts, 4, 6 against. They had the 3 shots on goal. They had the 2 goals at 5-on-5. And they had 4 scoring chances. So overall, from the Lightning here, I mentioned Stammer. He had the team high 6 scoring chances, 6 shot attempts, and 3 high danger chances. He had the 4 shots. But a lot of the guys, really had those shot attempts. I mean, Killorn had the 3, Cirelli had 3, Point had 5. So it's those big guys. Yanni Gourde only had 2. He capitalized on both of them. He had the 2 shots. But that's what I feel like that top 6. That's how I think it'll look. Point, Cirelli, Palat, Killorn, Stamkos, Gourde. That's going to be my core here as we move over to DraftKings and Showdown. I think what I said on Wednesday applies for Friday. Low scoring, both goalies. I think you can play both Vasilevsky and Varlamov, or you maybe just play one of them. I don't envision any of my lineups without a goalie. I think I got to have one. And I think to be contrarian would be Varlamov. You make him your captain. If the Islanders win tonight, let's be honest, it's probably because Varlamov played unbelievable. Maybe 30-plus saves from this guy. big night in goal. I lean Vasilevsky. I've rotated through a couple different lineups here. My core is going to be Stamkos, Point, Gord, Cirelli with Vasilevsky. And you can rotate through captains. I did one where Vasilevsky was my captain. I have to go down to Clutterbuck as my Islander. I could go Point as my captain, and then I could fit Cizikas in as my Islander, which I'm fine with. I mean, the guy gets a lot of ice time. I think he was third on the team in shot attempts, expected goals in Game 6. That's a strategy that you can take. Or you can go Stamkos as your MVP, and then you have 6-1 left for an Islander. You could go Palmieri, or you can go Josh Bailey. I think you could actually get Josh Bailey in there if you went with Point as your MVP. So if you go with Vasilevsky as your MVP, then you're going to have to come down and go to Clutterbuck. I don't think I'm going to ride with Vasilevsky as my MVP in too many spots. I don't see the Islanders they had it in Game 6 where they peppered Vasilevsky, but it was on Long Island, and I just don't think that they're going to come in here and have 40-plus shots on Tampa Bay. So I'm Stamkos, Point. Those are my two MVPs. I know I kind of am avoiding Victor Hedman. If you can fit him in there, that's fine. But I think having Cirelli at 4-6 I think it's an auto play, right? I mean, he's got points in 2 straight. He's got 3 points over that span. He's not a big volume shooter, 2-2-2, 1-1-1, but he's, 18 minutes is the most he's played here in this series. Again, you're going to see that with a lot of Tampa's top 6, but 16, 15, 13, and then 18 minutes in Game 6. So this is a guy that I think benefits. Getting alongside Braden Point is obviously a plus considering how hot that guy is. And then getting to PC Yanni Gord here, potentially playing in the top 6, getting some extra power play time as well, right? That first power play unit is going to look a little different. Could see some Cirelli on it, could see some Yanni Gord on there as well. So I don't think I really have anything else to say. Rambled long enough, but if you are playing multiple lineups, as I said on Wednesday, if you're just playing one, you got to think that a lot of people are going to have Tampa heavy, so you got to get unique. You got to have to be a little bit creative. I think that would be maybe Stamkos being MVP or Cirelli being MVP or going with an Islanders lineup. And if you are going to go that way, it's, as I mentioned on Wednesday, it's Barzal and Eberle. Those are the two for me. It was such a strong game from both of those guys. Man, Barzal, when he has the puck on his stick, he just has it on his stick for a long time, and he just seems so dangerous on it when he has it. So those are the guys, and then you can mix in Bolivier and Brock Nelson. That would be my Islander core 4 there. And then you could get Cirelli in there if you wanted to, Varlamov as your captain. It's easy to get that in there, actually. Varlamov, Barzal, Eberle, Nelson, Bolivier, and you can spend down on a guy like Gord, Cirelli, or Tyler Johnson if you want. He's sitting there at 2K. I noticed he got a little bit more ice time. He didn't do a whole lot with it, but he's another guy that could benefit here from Kucherov being out. You could see him maybe get some more power play time, a little bit more ice time as well. He's $2,000. So have some fun with it. If you are playing the one lineup, you got to be a little bit different. You're playing 3. I'd go 2 heavy Tampa and then mix in a little bit of an Islanders lineup there. I see a 3-2 final here from Tampa Bay. I think they get it done in overtime, and I think it's Steven Stamkos. Enjoy the hockey. I hope that we're back here for the Stanley Cup Finals. I believe that we will be doing some solo shows, and I think we'll have a Stanley Cup preview here. I got to talk to Mr. Pat Mayo about that as well. So if not, it's been a pleasure, an awesome ride. I appreciate all the feedback. It's been amazing to work with Mayo here, Matty Best, Sean McCormick running the shows here for me this year, and of course Cam Stewart. And it's just been a pleasure. I'm speechless, really. Enjoy the hockey. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.